What's going on, everyone? So John Wall and the Clippers just aged like milk. It was terrible. It didn't really work out. There's all this talk, all this hype, all this, just chatter about how, John Wall, he's coming to the Clippers. He's the piece that they need. John Wall's talking and chirping and all that stuff. And it went worse than the Lakers with Russell Westbrook. And it just was an absolute mess. And the Clippers did him pretty dirty, in my opinion. I mean, they sent him back to Houston after 2 weeks after he went on that podcast or whatever and talked about how how his struggles and just issues in Houston. They sent him right back. Now, obviously, he's not going to play a game there or anything. Bought him out, and he's likely going to try to find a new place. Problem is, there are a lot of locations based on reports that are interested in him. Right now, it's very likely going to be the Russell Westbrook show, right? Like, many teams are interested in Russell Westbrook. You got Chicago, got the Clippers. Maybe they're looking at it as, well, John Wall didn't work, but maybe Russell Westbrook will. You have him linked to the Heat. But it is possible that one of these teams that don't land Russell Westbrook, maybe they take a look at John Wall, may say, okay, well, let's give him a shot the rest of the season. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, we let him go, and we're kind of in the same boat regardless. That is something that could definitely happen. But there have been rumors and murmurs going around about John Wall and his connection to the Lakers. Now, I don't really buy it. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that the Lakers are looking at John Wall and going, that's what we need. The Russell Westbrook situation just failed, but John Wall, that's the one that's going to work. And Sports Illustrated and a couple other, media syndicates talked about how John Wall to the Lakers, that the Lakers were interested in potentially trading for John Wall last season. It was a different time. It's a different place. Lakers are in a very different position. But nonetheless, that's rumors and reports. Now, personally, I just think that it's media drawing up some stuff, right? Because it's slow season right now. Not really much to talk about. So, you hear all the Anthony Davis murmurs and all of that stuff, and I just think it's like, oh, well, let's talk about John Wall. That was something that the Lakers were linked to a year ago when it was going through a disaster. But nonetheless, here's some of the parts that were from this article, from the reports that are going around. The clock is running out on John Wall's NBA career. Wall was a massive net negative over the course of his 34-game Clipper tenure, and he's played in a grand total of 147 games in the last 6 seasons. He's a bad shooter, doesn't explode to the rim with ease anymore, and no longer bends defenses with his passes. Also, it's a shame that injuries robbed Wall of a significant portion of his prime, but his market will be limited once he hits the open market. The Heat could show some interest if they fail to land Westbrook after they were linked to him over the summer. The Lakers also expressed some interest last July, but seems unlikely to prioritize a point guard in the buyout market after acquiring D'Angelo Russell. So again, this was in the article, the person that was putting it together after, oh, well, maybe they could tie in and da-da-da-da-da. And after they spewed all that stuff, this is basically what the end result was. So even they don't believe that it's something, but I had several people in the comments just say, hey, I heard that John Wall, the Lakers may be interested. So I figured, why not touch on it? Why not talk about it? Why not give my opinion, which I think is no opinion. I think that it's not happening. Look, Russell Westbrook, I appreciate Russell Westbrook for what he did. He was a Laker. I wanted it to work out. I think at the end of the day, I think most people wanted it to. That would have been such a great story. Russell Westbrook comes in, it's home, it's LA, it's the Lakers, they figure it out and they win an NBA championship, number 18, right? That would have been the story. That's what would have been great. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way. And, Russ's credit, he did sacrifice, he did try to do a lot. It just didn't work. And sometimes things just don't work. And I want the best for him. I hope that he goes to a destination. If he goes to the Clippers, well then, sorry, Russell Westbrook. Can't support you no more. Can't really, ride with you no more because it's the Clippers, right? But if he goes to the Bulls or the Heat, man, have some success. As long as you're not playing the Lakers, I'm rooting for you. I want you to have some success, right? But the experiment didn't work. And the fact that didn't work, I don't see the Lakers going, oh man, you know what? We should get a worse Russell Westbrook. Now, maybe just for point guard depth, right? That's something that maybe they could be interested in, of just hey, if for whatever reason, right, Dennis Schroeder or D'Lo or something goes down, knock on wood, But, it'd be nice to have another point guard. But even then, I don't think you need that. You still have LeBron James, who is probably still the best point guard on the team. And then you even have guys like Austin Reeves who can play make and can be a point guard in spots if you need him to be. And if you need to, like, there are still other guards that are out there. I mean, you could go and hit up DJ Augustine again and just be like, hey, we want you to be a third guard off the bench. One of these other, like, random point guards very likely could end up getting bought out. And you could go and just say, hey, we just want you for off the bench or something. Or bring in, Scottie Pippen Jr. and have him be the third point guard off the bench if you need to, right? There are just so many other options than going and getting Russell Westbrook 2.0 and trying to make it work all over again, right? I like John Wall, Kentucky days, NBA, he was a monster, right? He was a menace, explosive. He was really great, right? But unfortunately, injuries derailed it. And it ruined his career. I mean, just like Derrick Rose, which I would rather have Derrick Rose than John Wall. Like, if it came down to it, right? Like, I would give me Derrick Rose over John Wall at this point. But still, nonetheless, regardless, I don't think that is a reasonable solution either. But John Wall, he got the injury bug, and it ruined what he was building, the career he had. He thinks that he and Bradley Beal would have made some noise and that they were going to beat the Cavs and all that stuff. I'm sure you heard the talks, and maybe, but I don't believe that. I don't buy that. I think that's just like, it's the old story, like, yeah, if I didn't get hurt in third grade, I would have made it to the league. I would have been the next Michael Jordan. You always hear those stories. It's how I kind of feel about John Wall sometimes. Like, I feel like some of the things he says in like these interviews and stuff is kind of like that. It's like if I never got hurt, I was on the way to be the best player ever in NBA history. I would have won 15 NBA championships. And it's like, look, I liked you. You were good, but you weren't that good, right? I mean, he was nice, but he wasn't that nice. And look, he's past his time. Were the Lakers interested potentially in maybe swapping him for Russell Westbrook? Yeah. Do I think that they would have done that? Yeah. The problem was that Houston wanted a first-round pick as well. They didn't want to just do an even swap. If Houston would have been willing to just swap Russell Westbrook for John Wall, then I think they would have done it, or even just like a second-round pick, right? If they would have even been like, yeah, we'll give us a second and we'll do it, I really think that they would have, the Lakers at that time last year, I really believe they would have said okay, and they would have done it, and John Wall would have been a Laker. And I just think it would have been the same thing. I think the Lakers would have been trading John Wall and maybe, hopefully trying to get the same type of package they got now. It doesn't make any sense at this point. I think the Lakers roster is nice. I think that they have everything you need. They went and solved all of their issues, all of their holes, all of their concerns, right? I think if the Lakers are to bring somebody in with that 15th spot, I think either A, it's a young guy that they could grow and develop, and they look at, and say, okay, well, this guy's 22 or something like that. Insert a young player that you'd want for them to bring in, somebody like that, where they're like, okay, well, he's not going to play, but he's young. We could develop him. We could grow him and kind of be a part of our farm system. Maybe send him back and forth through the G League, whatever. I think it's either that, they bring somebody up from the G League, right? A lot of people I hear want Huff. Maybe it's a Huff. Maybe it's, like I said, Scottie Pippen Jr. Maybe it's Swider, something like that. Those kind of guys actually will fill in that spot. Or what I prefer, which would be my decision if I had, would be just like a veteran presence, right? Not John Wall, because John Wall would be a veteran presence, but not like that. Somebody that can just come in, be a locker room guy, be a Jared Dudley type, right? Somebody that can come in, kind of coach and be a part of this young group and kind of like help, keep them in line. That's kind of what I would like, just somebody that can, because we have more than enough talent. We have more than enough rotation guys. We have more than enough everything. I just think the one thing we need is like a veteran presence outside of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Darvin Ham, he's a player's coach. You have Phil Handy, who's great with players, stuff like that. But it's different when it's an actual player. Like, I would love like a Udonis Haslem type guy, right? A guy that just comes in, He's simply there just to be like that voice for the players, be a guy in the locker room, be a guy that's helping out. I wouldn't mind like a Will Barton, right? Like if the Lakers could scrounge up a way to get Will Barton, which I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up yet, but like something like that, I wouldn't mind that. But it's just like how much is he going to play over like some of the other guys? So that's a real thing about the Lakers too. But I think the Lakers are fine. I really don't think, even if knock on wood, Schroeder goes down, they'll be fine. You have Reeves, you have LeBron, you have D'Lo. If you need to, you can bring in, like I said, a DJ Augustine, somebody just come in and play 10 minutes a game, whatever, or play point guard by committee. It'll be okay. Lakers will be fine. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, though, and so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Yeah, this is total nonsense. John Wall ain't coming to Lakers. Or are you kind of like, yeah, like I wouldn't mind it, bring him in. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below.